Yo guys, so it appears that Cliffjumper is gonna be in the new Bumblebee movie. How much money you guys wanna bet that he's gonna die? Like he usually does in most continuities. Yeah, I thought the same thing. But hey, who knows, maybe even Travis Knight will surprise us and that won't happen. I'm sure he wouldn't just kill Cliffjumper for dramatic effect or anything like that.
Yeah.
This guy can't catch a break! Well guys, welcome to Wasted Potential, the series where I go over the Transformers characters with the most wasted potential. It's been half a year since I last did one of these videos, and the reason why I stopped doing them is because, well, the series started pretty strong with the first few wasted potential videos. Over time, interest seems to have died down. So you guys better show me a lot of support for this video, otherwise it's gonna be another year delayed. Because this videos take me a long time to edit, like I actually put a lot of effort into them. So, you know, if I don't see that these videos get enough support or attention, then I don't see much point in continuing. But since a lot of you guys requested for me to continue, I'm gonna give it another shot and see how he does this time. Today we're talking about Cliffjumper, more specifically BB Cliffjumper, and when I mean BB, I don't mean as in like a baby or whatever, I mean as in the Bumblebee movie Cliffjumper. Now for this video I'm gonna be talking about, you know, how he was handling the movie, how the comics handle him, how I would have handled him, and then I'm gonna rank him somewhere in the wasted potential scale, where I rank the characters based on how wasted they were in the movie, how much wasted potential they had. By the way, the higher you're on the list, like ranks number 1 through 5, means that you had the greatest wasted potential. And if you were like at the bottom of the list, like let's say Transformers Prime Cliffjumper, it means that you were an ass wasted. So now that you're caught up with the way we do things, sit back, relax, and enjoy this video talking about Cliffjumper's wasted potential. Again. So we're starting with the Bumblebee movie. Cliffjumper was among the Autobots fending off a wave of Decepticon forces led by Shockwave, Soundwave, Starscream, and Shatter. He was eventually ordered to retreat by Optimus Prime once Decepticon reinforcements arrived, tasked with finding other Autobots scattered throughout the galaxy and rendezvous on Earth. Him and the other Autobots left Cybertron in various escape pods. Sometime later in the year 1987, the Decepticon hunters Shatter and Dropkick tracked him to one of Saturn's moons and tortured him to learn Prime's whereabouts. Though Cliffjumper refused to betray the Autobots, the two Decepticons managed to pick up B-127's signal from nearby Earth. The pair decided to go after B-127 instead, but not before Shatter had Dropkick fatally bisect Cliffjumper as an honorable death. And that's where his story ends. I'm not kidding, that's all he did in the movie. He just appeared, had a small shootout, and then we see him like basically get murdered. Which, I mean, it's pretty bad, not gonna lie. But now since we finished covering the movie, we're gonna move on to how the comics handle Cliffjumper. Now before we continue, I need to do a bit of a disclaimer because comic Cliffjumper and movie Cliffjumper are from two different franchises. The movie Cliffjumper is part of the reboot, you know. We're never gonna see him in the reboot ever again, you know, beyond this point, unless they do flashbacks or whatever. While comic Cliffjumper actually belongs to the Michael Bay universe, meaning that his appearances are, you know, connected to the Michael Bay movies. So just to extend this video and to make it a little longer, I'm gonna go over what, you know, the Michael Bay Cliffjumper did. So many years ago, Cliffjumper and his lookalike Bumblebee guarded the Allspark from nothing in particular. It was a pretty boring job actually. Cliffjumper tried to get his bored friend to calm down when the yellow guy got anxious from just sitting around. Cliffjumper pointed out that even though they were Defense Force material, they'd be just as boring than the Defense Force just doing patrols. If anything, they should relax and let the action come to them. Cliffjumper rather regretted his words as hostile aliens attacked Cybertron and the pair were quickly pinned down under heavy fire. However, the two of them were rescued by Megatron and Starscream. After the battle, a panicky Bumblebee knew something big was coming, though Cliffjumper thought that they wouldn't have anything to do with it anyway, as they were only supposed to stand guard at the temple. Prowl and Jazz came to investigate the attack on the temple, and Cliffjumper reported that they didn't notice any unusual activity from the Allspark during the battle. Later, presumably all the security personnel were present at the meeting where Optimus asked them to not follow Megatron into the war, who by this point was becoming more radical and was trying to raise up his own army to overthrow the government and take full control of the Allspark. Much later, Cliffjumper and a bunch of other Autobots will be sent out to arrest Optimus Prime by command of some false orders sent by Megatron. However, all of the Autobots and even themselves were all targeted for termination, and Megatron wanted to use this opportunity to get rid of all of them at the same time. So a small fight ensued, and Cliffjumper and his friends managed to get away safely. Cliffjumper was present when the Decepticon Ironhide defected from Megatron's forces and made his way to Optimus Prime's secret base. Cliffjumper held him at gunpoint while Optimus Prime told him to stand down, as Ironhide proceeded to swear allegiance to Optimus Prime and the Autobots. Cliffjumper was in a crowd of Autobots waiting for Optimus Prime's orders after the Decepticons launched the Nemesis into space. Sometime later, with the war reaching its peak, Optimus Prime made the decision to capture the Allspark and launch it into deep space, hopefully sparing Cybertron further devastation and giving his Autobots the breathing room they required to regroup. Cliffjumper participated in a mission to steal Energon from the now Decepticon-controlled Trypticon. His team was ambushed by Shockwave's troops, and though Cliffjumper himself was shot in the chest by Shockwave, he lived to retreat and regroup. Unfortunately, some of his comrades died during the attack, including Chromia, who will later be revived by the Decepticon Flatline. After the death of Megatron in the original 2007 Transformers movie and the destruction of the Allspark, Cliffjumper was part of an Autobot assault team on Mars under the command of RC. Together with his teammate, he raided Starscream's Decepticon starship. Cliffjumper and the others made short work of the Swindle, Dreadwing, and Payload drones that the Decepticons sent against them, but they were unprepared for Thundercracker's weaponry. Cliffjumper and Camshaft attempted to provide cover for Smokescreen to evacuate the fallen air raid, but Thundercracker killed Camshaft in a single motion and heavily wounded Cliffjumper. Saved from certain doom by RC, Cliffjumper turned the tides onto the Decepticons only to be shot in the back by Starscream. RC attempted to evacuate Cliffjumper, but she was struck down by Starscream instead, leaving Cliffjumper's future looking grim. However, months later, when Samway will arrive to the scene of the battle, he will only find two dead Autobots, those being Air Raid and Camshaft. So there's a chance that Cliffjumper got away, but this remains unconfirmed. And that's where Cliffjumper's story ends. He didn't really do much in the pre-Cybertron Civil War era. He was always in the background during Optimus Prime's, rise to power. And the only real time that he got action that was focused on him was during the reign of Starscream, when him and RC, raided Starscream's weakened forces. But after that, he's never seen again or mentioned again in the Bay universe. I mean, supposedly he should make it to Earth because we do have some toys that kind of imply that he, does make it to Earth. But nothing's confirmed yet and the toys are not exactly canon, so, it's pretty hard to tell. Now that we're done with the comics, it's time to move on to how would I have handled Cliffjumper. I always kind of seen Cliffjumper as the red Bumblebee. So for me, Cliffjumper was always kind of just, there. And I don't honestly remember much of him in G1 except that he was the red Bumblebee. I do like him in Transformers Prime though, with his new, with his new outgoing personality and how he's very confident and stuff. He's really fun in Transformers Prime and in Follow Cybertron. If anything, I do like how the Michael Bay movie comics handle Cliffjumper, especially during the reign of Starscream. Like, he was just so badass leading a small team of Autobots against an entire army of Decepticons. And going toe to toe with Thundercracker. who, might I add, was probably the third strongest Decepticon by the time of the first Transformers movie. So Cliffjumper can really hold himself in a fight and, can really lead a team through very, very unsurmountable odds. The thing is that Cliffjumper, unlike, let's say, someone like Grimlock, who's a powerhouse, or someone like Shockwave, who can be used as either a warrior or a scientist, Cliffjumper has always been solely a warrior, someone to fill in the ranks. You can give him a few stealth missions here and there, like, they didn't follow Cybertron. The fact that he looks so much like Bumblebee can, sometimes put him in Bumblebee's shadow in a weird kind of way. Now, as to how will I handle him in the movie universe for Michael Bay, I like what the comics did with him, have him, commit to a raid against the Decepticons, be injured, and then be, missing in action. I would have, had him go to Earth, and on Earth he joins Optimus Prime and the other Autobots and fights alongside them, because you could have easily had Cliffjumper appear in the movies. You could have replaced, let's say, Skits and Mudflap for Cliffjumper. It's just a red Bumblebee, so you will be saving on CGI and making new Transformers models. I would have replaced Skits and Mudflap with Cliffjumper, have him be like the tag-along Autobot, or you could have him stay with the Autobots and the Nest Forces, because having two Bumblebee lookalikes could have been a bit, I don't know, mesmerizing. So having, Bumblebee, the kid-friendly character, going on this adventure with Sam, while, the more serious warrior Cliffjumper stays with the Nest Forces and gets ready to fight the Decepticons. I think that will have been a pretty cool dynamic. But like I previously mentioned, Cliffjumper is more of a background character, so if he does make an appearance in the Bay universe, I would have just kept him like a side character, kind of like Sideswipe. He gets the action scene every once in a while, but as for, but the Bumblebee reboot is, I think he was really shafted in the reboot, because in the Michael Bay universe, characters like Wheeljack, Mirage, and the Wreckers at least got to do something. But when Cliffjumper appears, he's just shooting some, some off-screen Decepticons, and next time we see him, he's already pretty much dead. It's like he didn't even got to do anything. I mean, sure, he had that brave stand against Shadow and Dropkick. He was like, I'm never gonna betray my cause. You can kill me, I don't care what you do. And, well, that was really brave and all. Cliffjumper is still a pretty popular G1 character. I may honestly not care that much about Cliffjumper, but just for being a classic character, I feel like Cliffjumper should have gotten more to do. Like, on Cybertron, before he dies, give him a small scene where he pulls out like a missile launcher and shoots down some Decepticons first, then Optimus Prime appears and steals the spotlight. He's supposed to be a lieutenant. He's basically Optimus Prime's second in command, so the fact that he just goes out like that, it's kind of insulting. But yeah, I would have given him a small action scene on Cybertron, and maybe an extended fight scene against Shadow and Dropkick. Like, I get why the scene, began with both just Shadow and Dropkick basically on top, because you wouldn't build those two up to be like this, huge threat that Bumblebee's gonna have to face later in the film. And the reason why you have Cliffjumper there is because he's literally a red Bumblebee. So, if these two manage to beat a more experienced, warrior that looks like Bumblebee, then what chance does Bumblebee have? It's good symbolism, I get why they did it, but you could have just replaced this Cliffjumper with, let's say, Bugbite, the white Bumblebee, or any other, Bumblebee lookalike. It didn't just have to be Cliffjumper. But yeah, that's how I would have handled him. For the Michael Bay universe, just having him be another background character, giving the spotlight every here and there. And for the reboot, just give him another small action scene, and his death can remain the same way. There's no other way to get around that. You could either keep his death the same, or just replace him with some other Bumblebee lookalike, so that way we can save Cliffjumper for a future movie. But now that we're done with this section, it's time to move on to the wasted potential scale. So it's been a while since I visited the wasted potential scale, and I'm surprised that we managed to do 17 episodes of this series, which it probably makes it my longest running series on this channel, besides the Missing Warriors series, which It's an unofficial series where I cover characters that go missing or characters that were hidden in the background or made into Transformers toys and characters after the movie came out. Keep in mind that the higher you're on the list, the more wasted you were, and the lower you're on the list, it means that you were an ass wasted. So we got number 1 RC, number 2 Shockwave, number 3 Soundwave, number 4 Devastator, number 5 Twins, number 6 Blitzwing, number 7 The Last Night Decepticons, number 8 Jolt, number 9 The Dreads, number 10 Brawl, number 11 Dino / Mirage, number 12 Wheeljack, number 13 Bone Crusher, number 14 Infernicus, number 15 Blackout, number 16 Jazz, and number 17 Cliffjumper. I mean Transformers Prime Cliffjumper, of course. So where would I rank BB Cliffjumper? He's a G1 character and a pretty iconic G1 character. He's known as the Red Bumblebee, so he's gonna be higher on the list. And unlike most of the Michael Bay Decepticons and Autobots, like at least they got a small action scene, at least they got something. Cliffjumper just shot at some Decepticons off screen, had that brave stand against Shadow and Dropkick, and they got killed. He didn't get much when it comes to action, so I don't know. I definitely don't think he was as bad as the Twins or maybe Blitzwing, just because, well, I feel like the whole thing with Blitzwing was kind of a mess. Like, at least Cliffjumper looked authentic, okay? At least I can give him that. And he was never the main focus of the film, unlike the Twins were. He wasn't hyped up like The Last Night Decepticons. One of the reasons why I put The Last Night Decepticons so, high up on the scale is because the movie literally hyped them up. The movie was like, oh yeah, these Decepticons are truly something. They're the next big danger, and oh, they just got killed. Oh well. Like, it made that scene kind of pointless. Jolt, showed up out of nowhere, gave Optimus Prime a major crucial plot point power up and just, disappear. I think he should be above Dino and Wheeljack just because, well, at least Dino and Wheeljack did something. It was, really small, but Wheeljack gave the humans weapons and Mirage had some small action scenes, even though they were in the background. At least we actually saw him kill a Decepticon. Brawl also had that epic action scene against Bumblebee, so yeah. If I had to, choose where I would put BB Cliffjumper, it will probably be above Jolt. I'll put BB Cliffjumper at the number 8 spot. Just because, well, pretty popular G1 character and just got killed like that. Like, he didn't even get an action scene. And sure, while I do like the fact that he never told Shadow and Dropkick what Optimus Prime's plan was, at the same time, it's like, you could probably done a bit more before you killed him off. Like, give him a small send-off, a small fight scene in Cybertron to showcase that he's the second in command of the Autobots. Like, this guy really is, powerful. Like, he's pretty strong. So that way, when he actually dies, we are like, oh wow, he was basically an older Bumblebee. How is Bumblebee supposed to take down these two guys now by himself? Like, it raised the stakes a bit more because now we have more of an idea how Dropkick and Shadow, power scale in comparison to Cliffjumper and Bumblebee. Cliffjumper goes at the number 8 spot and everyone else moves 1 spot higher. That's my final verdict. I have spoken. But anyways, before I go, I'm gonna give a small shout out to my patrons: Morais Prime, Mateo, Mario Gordon, Christopher Prime, Stephanie Ballard, and the absolute madman himself, Jordan the Great, who donated $100. Thanks a lot guys for donating, it's much appreciated. Some of them have YouTube channels and other stuff that they want to promote, so if you guys want to support them or anything, link to their respective stuff is going to be in the description down below. They need all the help they can get, and I'll much appreciate it if you guys choose to support them. So yeah, that's it for this video guys. I don't know who I'm gonna do next. Maybe Makeshift from Transformers Prime. I got a couple of requests from him, so maybe I'll do that next. It all depends on you guys. Give me some suggestions in the comments down below and I'll consider doing a video about them. Anyways guys, that's it for this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay safe guys.